believe wholeheartedly that she's your father.
I really do.
You've been ducking this boy's DNA for all its life. Take the test.
Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else.
Chances are, just out of nowhere, random universal selection, this boy who's not related to you has your nose, has your mouth, has your brow line, has your hair.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So
this.
now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, they are, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
Jay-Z just got slammed with a legal hit that could shake his whole empire. And guess who's smiling about it? 50 Cent. The paternity battle with Rhymir Carter isn't dead yet, and a fresh court decision just made it crystal clear. This thing is far from over. No more stalling, no more ducking. The spotlight is on. Here's the kicker. Jay-Z's been ordered to answer by July 18th or risk this blowing up faster than anyone imagined. And the word on the street? People are whispering that 50 Cent himself is allegedly footing Rhymir's legal bills, paying for the whole fight out of his own pocket. That's right, the entire case. And if that's not enough, he's making it a centerpiece in his upcoming documentary. The same one fans believe will drop heavy accusations on both Diddy and Jay-Z. This isn't just about law anymore. This is about pride, reputation, and a legacy on the line. This feud didn't start yesterday. For years, Rhymir's claimed he's Jay-Z's biological son. And his mother has said she dated Jay back in 1992 when she was just 16. That's why this isn't just some wild tabloid story, and if even a shred of this holds weight, it's game over for Jay-Z's public image. Sources are already calling it one of the wildest twists in hip-hop history. Behind the scenes, Rhymir's been grinding to shut down what he calls a myth, but now, 50 Cent poked the hornet's nest, and the judge basically said, "Let's go." Overnight, this went from quiet whispers to a full-blown headline war. Word on the block is this could be the crack that brings Jay-Z's entire world crashing down. His marriage, hanging by a thread, his billion-dollar empire, shaking at the foundation. But before we dive deeper, let's rewind. Who exactly is Rhymir Carter? And why has this case stayed so quiet for over a decade? His real name isn't even Carter, it's Rhymir Satterthwaite. And unlike what some might think, this man hasn't been chasing clout. Since the age of 19, he's been on one mission, to prove that Jay-Z is his biological father. Rhymir's mother, Wanda, has said she first met Jay-Z in the early 90s, when she was still underage. She claims things happened, and when she reached out after finding out she was pregnant, silence. No calls back, no support, nothing. Now Rhymir's grown, and he's not here to play nice anymore. He's bringing the heat because he wants the truth out in the open. Here's where it gets even more tangled. According to his godmother, Lily Keymeyer, Jay-Z's team once tried to keep things civil. They even considered bringing Rhymir into Roc Nation because of his talent in music. But suddenly, the vibe changed. The lawyer switched, the doors slammed shut, and the energy turned cold. Something behind the scenes spooked them. Hard. Why else would they pull back so fast? Panic must have kicked in once they realized how deep this could run. And this isn't just about paternity, there's a bigger shadow here. Rhymir's story includes claims about a minor being brought across state lines back in the day. Allegedly, Jay-Z was accused of taking a 16-year-old from Philadelphia to Brooklyn. That's not just messy. Depending on the details, it could cross into serious legal territory. No wonder his legal team has been fighting to bury this case for over 10 years. Jay-Z's camp has been pulling every trick in the book, stalling, delaying, and trying to bury this case, because if it blows up, his whole empire could crumble. If this goes all the way, we could be talking criminal probes, major lawsuits, and a storm of public outrage. And here's the real sting. Rhymir has been chasing these answers since he was a teen, and now, with his mother gone, he's carrying her signed statement detailing every claim she ever made. The court has finally had enough of the back-and-forth legal games. They're digging in for real this time, and it's not going away. Meanwhile, 50 Cent? He's sitting front row with popcorn, allegedly helping bankroll Rhymir's fight while lining up his bombshell documentary, aimed at both Diddy and Jay-Z. And the timing couldn't be worse for Jay. The hip-hop power balance is shifting, and fans are rethinking who really sits on the throne. Diddy's already under fire, and whispers say Jay-Z might be tied to some of the same shady evidence swirling around Diddy's name. The whole game is changing. People who've been silent for years are finally speaking up, and 2025 isn't giving Jay-Z any room to hide. The clock's ticking, and the skeletons from the past are knocking at the door. So let's rewind to the start, 1992. Jay-Z was still grinding to make a name for himself when Wanda, Rhymir's mother, says she met him. She claims he picked her up in Philadelphia and drove her straight to his aunt's place in Brooklyn. That alone raises eyebrows. Why move a teenage girl across state lines? That's not just questionable. It edges into territory that could be flat out illegal. She also says he came back 2 weeks later for one last visit and then vanished without a trace. No calls, no messages, nothing. He cut her off completely, but according to Wanda's close friend, Dr. Lily Coley, the real story runs deeper than most people think. She says the key incident went down back when Jay-Z was still rolling under his street name, Rock. And it didn't happen on just any block, it was a spot notorious for heavy drug activity. Coley claims Jay was hustling hard outside while Wanda had no way to reach him after she found out she was pregnant. Scared and unsure, she did what many young girls in her position have done. She put her ex-boyfriend Robert Graves on the birth certificate as the father. But that was never meant to be permanent. It was just a cover. Fast forward to 2011, Robert takes a DNA test and it's crystal clear. He's not the father. The court officially removes his name from the records. That's when Rhymir decided enough was enough. Wanda had only ever said there were two possibilities, Robert or Jay-Z. So in 2010, Rhymir filed a paternity case to make it official. But the fight turned ugly fast. Paperwork was a mess and Jay-Z's legal team wasn't helping. If anything, Rhymir claims they were working overtime to block him. From the jump, he says they've played dirty, even accusing them of bribing judges and lawyers to keep the truth buried. And the way this whole case has been handled, it's enough to make anyone wonder if Rhymir's telling the truth. The lawsuit's been tossed out, refiled, bounced from court to court, and delayed over and over. Every time Rhymir gets close to an answer, the rules seem to change. At one point, Jay-Z's lawyers even argued that because he didn't own property in New Jersey, the court couldn't force him to take a DNA test there. That was their defense? Seriously? But here's the twist. Rhymir came with receipts. He dug up records proving that Jay-Z did in fact own property in New Jersey at the exact time his lawyers swore he didn't. And once that came out, you'd think the court would finally greenlight the DNA test, right? Wrong. Instead, the case got mysteriously rerouted, then tossed out yet again, as if someone was playing keep away with the truth. Rhymir isn't some random internet troublemaker. He's been grinding on this fight for nearly a decade, dropping evidence, spending his own cash, and refusing to quit. He even pushed the case all the way to the Supreme Court and still got shut down. Every time he gets close, another wall goes up. Why? Sources claim Jay-Z's camp has been running a chess game, delaying, redirecting, ignoring deadlines, and challenging court authority to keep the case stuck in limbo. It's a power move, a cover, a way to control the board without making a direct move. Even some legal experts are asking the same question the streets have been asking for years. If Jay-Z truly has nothing to hide, why not just take the DNA test and end it once and for all? Rhymir's position is crystal clear. Show me he's not my father. But Jay-Z, silent. No statements, no transparency, not even a direct denial. And now the whispers are getting louder. Maybe this isn't just about paternity. Maybe it's about what the results could unravel about Jay-Z's marriage, his brand, and the image he's built over decades. According to Rhymir's camp, the DNA isn't the only thing in play here. And whatever else is hiding in the shadows could shake the whole foundation. Jay-Z's dodging of that DNA test might go way beyond just paternity drama. If the results backed up Rhymir's claims, it could open the door to massive lawsuits, child support demands, and the kind of public scrutiny Jay's been sidestepping for decades. This isn't just a he said, she said anymore. It's about real legal accountability. Sure, money's a factor, but so is image. If Rhymir turned out to be his son, he could potentially go after years of lost opportunities, financial support, and more. We're talking millions, and that's before even touching what it could do to Jay-Z's carefully polished image as a devoted husband and father. That public persona he's guarded for years? It could take a direct hit. Rhymir's legal team has also been pushing for sealed files and hidden documents that weren't fully examined the first time around. They believe there may be proof of just how far Jay-Z's camp allegedly went to keep this under wraps. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's been fanning the flames, making sure the entire saga stays in the spotlight. The heat is higher than it's ever been. This isn't just some private family dispute anymore. Every move Jay makes is under the microscope. The internet's tracking court dates, spotting him at public events, dissecting every interview. And here's the thing, Jay's silence is starting to feel like its own kind of answer. Because let's be real, if someone had been claiming to be your kid for over a decade, wouldn't you shut that down with a single test? Just one swab, one result, and it's over. But Jay hasn't done it. And with every quiet day that passes, the whole situation just keeps getting messier. Beyonce's name is still tangled in the mess, and insiders say she's doing everything possible to keep the fallout from touching her brand. Word is she's been pushing Jay to settle this quietly before it explodes into her world. And honestly, can anyone blame her? Her entire empire is built on beauty, control, and perfection. And now chaos is creeping in. But here's where it gets even wilder. Fans have spotted an odd pattern. Around the same time this case started heating up, a wave of high-profile hip-hop figures began facing legal heat. Diddy's empire is under siege, other big names are under investigation, and in the middle of it all, Jay-Z's accused of hiding a paternity scandal stretching back decades. Now the conversation's getting bigger. People are questioning just how deep this circle runs. Who's being shielded, and at what cost? This isn't just about Rhymir anymore. There are claims of manipulation, silent networks, and a system built to erase voices that don't fit the narrative. And yet, here's Rhymir, forcing one of the most famous rappers alive to finally face a story he's been dodging for years. And make no mistake, 50 Cent isn't just clowning Jay-Z for the headlines anymore. He's actively pushing this forward, playing a part in what could go down as the biggest paternity scandal hip-hop has ever seen. With a judge now turning up the pressure, the clock is ticking, and time is running out for Jay to keep this buried. Rhymir Carter isn't backing down. No retreat, no secret payoff, no polished PR spin. And with the July 18th deadline closing in, the world's watching. Will Jay-Z finally step up and take the DNA test, or will he pull yet another legal maneuver to keep the questions hanging in the air? One thing's certain, 50 Cent is still in full swing, riding this storm and updating everyone with each twist. This isn't just about spilling secrets in interviews or documentaries. This is about shaking the foundation of the image Jay-Z has spent decades crafting. And the craziest part? We might still be at the start of this saga. The real question now is whether Jay will keep playing the same game that's kept him untouchable for years, or finally step into the ring and face whatever comes. Meanwhile, 50's grinning like he just hit the jackpot, while fans and onlookers lean in closer with every passing day. So what's next? Will Jay-Z take the test and end the whispers? Or dodge again and let the fire keep growing? If you've got thoughts on how this will play out, drop them in the comments. And if you want to keep up with the deep dives as this drama unfolds, make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe. This story isn't slowing down anytime soon.